What is up, Sound Flickers? Skywalker Mike here. You are now tuned into another episode of Soundflick
Yeah.
podcast. It's nice to have you guys here again on another lovely episode of Shenanigans and Movies.
Yes.
And for
2021.
For you listening, if you didn't know, we're also on YouTube. If you want to catch the video version. For quite some time, we'll probably do that. We have previous ones if you want to catch that. But today we are gonna get into some movie talk, some production talk for some upcoming shows. We're gonna talk about some trailers and some other stuff in between. And we'll end it off with our suggestions if most of us have some. So we'll go with that. But yeah, how are you guys?
Doing well.
That's
See, it's the new year, healthy, 2021, coronavirus free, which is great. Everybody's safe and healthy, and just excited for a year filled with new movies, new shows. Ready to talk about all of them with my guys.
Yeah.
You already excited.
Know. New year of movies, and I don't know. I couldn't be more excited. I was just looking at all the movies coming out this year with Narik the other day, and pretty much every month, or at least once a month or in a few months, we're gonna be getting just heavy hitters. So
they've been saving them. So now it's time to unleash the flutes, unleash the Kraken, unleash everything that you could possibly unleash. I'm excited.
Yeah, whether they hit the movie theaters or not, we will be covering a majority of them. So
yes,
stay tuned for
we hit in the drive-in.
Everything we got going on. Yeah, even in the drive-in. I hit a few in the drive-in last year, so that was fun. It was a cool new experience, I guess. I never used to do it as often, so it's a nice experience.
Does the drive-in still have snacks?
Yes, they do.
Yes,
they do.
They're actually like hot snacks, so you get the app on your phone.
Okay.
Yeah, no,
they're like full-on kitchens from the drive-ins I go to.
Yeah, they're full-on kitchens. You
go to the expensive drive-in.
There's only 2 drive-ins.
It's not even expensive.
I mean, you got full kitchens. I don't know what's going on over there.
You can buy little snacks like Twinkies. You can buy popcorn.
Put it this way: when someone can go to a fast food spot and buy all the food they want, compared to if you go to the drive-in, they don't have anything. You have to kind of compete with that by having bomb-ass tacos, burritos, pizza. They have everything there.
Yeah.
Oh, that's dope.
They should get a taco guy to pull up at some of these.
That'd be fire.
I would a few of them.
Bro, the Rubido one has pretty fire-ass tacos. I mean, the last time I went, it was pretty fire. But that's just me.
I always take my own snacks. So
yeah,
that's me. I like to avoid the line. I just like to pull up and chill and start eating. So that's me.
What's your guys' go-to? Wait, hold on, real quick. What's your guys' go-to drive-in snack? Random.
Go-to drive-in snack.
Or food, anytime. I like going to Taco Bell. I don't know why. Taco Bell's usually
hey.
I like getting a pizza. There's a pizza spot right next to the Van Buren one. I sometimes get pizza from there, and I'll go take it into the drive-in. So it's pretty cool. I don't remember the name of the spot, but it's right there. It's right there.
I feel like since you don't normally take in food in regular movie theaters, it's great to just go to In-N-Out or go get pizza or just go get something that you normally.
I saw people eating sushi in their car, and I was like,
"Oh wow,
that's cool. That's a cool little thing to bring into the drive-in." But
that is pretty cool. They need more drive-ins, man. I was hoping that this past year they would have invested a little bit more, but it doesn't look like some places converted, but I just feel like the converted isn't really enough. They need full on hey, we're gonna be a drive-in forever type situations, and I didn't see it.
I think just a lot of them didn't want to get creative. And they're waiting for movies to come out. They're like, well, nothing's coming out. We can't show nothing. But, I mean, you could get creative and watch classics. I've seen the Van Buren and Rubido ones show the Goonies and, older movies like that, Gremlins. So they just didn't want to take that extra step to get a little bit more creative because they're like, well, if we open a drive-in, what are we going to show?
Yeah. I'm curious about what the back end kind of politics for that is. Like, how much do you have to pay? Somebody has to get paid, to like have not necessarily new movies, but current movies. So it's not considered a classic. I feel like The Goonies is considered a classic because it's been out for like maybe, I don't know, 20 years, something like that, close to.
Something like that.
So
more.
Even more probably. So like, how do you get like maybe a movie that's 10 years old, and what does that cost? And I feel like if that cost you don't feel like you'd be able to make your money back by just playing that movie because everyone else could watch it at home, it's probably tough.
I'm curious how that royalty statement kind of works. Like, if a drive-in shows all old movies, like, do those films still get those cuts, or are they just, you know what I mean?
No, most of the time they already own that reel, like they own the film. So like they pretty much just put up all the money, and that's how most movie companies make their money. And obviously they get portions of movie theater tickets as well, but they buy the whole movie, and that's why when movie theaters show a movie, it's like 10 times they're showing the movie because they're trying to get their money back because they spent so much. I've been to theaters where they didn't show Star Wars because they couldn't buy the film, and they waited until the movie theater that bought it next to them was done so they could sell it to them for cheaper and then make money like that. So
dang, that's crazy. So if you have like a newer movie theater and you have that rundown or the secondary movie theater in the city, you're like, I'm gonna sell that to you for half a ticket so that I could pay for this over here, and then you could try and make your money back. That's crazy. It's like a hustle.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, I mean, movie game is real, bro. I mean, that's why we're in this. Just so many people heavily invested in different ways, whether you love the movie, whether you want to make money off the movie, whether you want to create a movie. It's a huge avenue of entertainment for us. So
yeah,
I love it.
And that's why we do what we do.
Yes, this is exactly what it is. So before we tap into our movie talk, I want to talk about a show that's going to come out. It comes out tomorrow. Hey. So be
excited for it. Be hyped for this. I'm ready.
We've been waiting for this show, and it wasn't even supposed to be the first Disney Plus show to come out for Marvel. So WandaVision is coming out tomorrow, and we're going to give you guys like a little preview kind of setup, what to expect and where it is probably in the universe. And this was supposed to be the second one. I think the first one was supposed to be Falcon and the Winter Soldier.
Yeah, right. That's correct.
And then it got pushed back. I'm not sure why it got pushed back, to be honest.
I feel like it was just easier to film WandaVision because a lot of the first few episodes are technically in front of like a studio audience. Yeah, because the style of it's gonna, the first like 4 episodes are gonna be like a comedy sitcom in different eras, and then it's gonna kind of get a little bit more serious and like turn into a live action story kind of outside of the sitcom kind of vibe. So I feel like that it was easier to film that, but with Falcon and Winter Soldier, they were actually traveling around the world because it's more of like a global espionage type of show that they had to push it back.
Interesting. Yeah, I was reading that on an article by Variety that they tapped into shows like Family Matters and I Love Lucy, Full House, all these family-oriented shows to pretty much get some inspiration or get a feel for what they wanted to do. Because pretty much like one of the things that I read in the article was the focus of the show is family. So that kind of, when you hear family, you always think mom, dad, kid, but there's no kid in the show. So it's kind of like, I mean, I've seen trailers where she's pregnant, but we don't even know how real that is, or like
whether it would just be like a figment of her imagination or of her powers, I should say, not just of her imagination. It's super interesting because like she does have kids in the comic, and it would be so cool to see them brought to life in the MCU, because it would add to our overarching theory of them bringing the young Avengers to the screen, because all of these kind of young kids led by Spider-Man, and you have Cassie Lang, who's going to be Stature, and you have Hawkeye's protege, Kate Bishop. So it starts getting created to look at and be like, wow, like they're going to make this next generation, because you don't have Captain America anymore, you don't have Iron Man anymore, so they gotta start making room for others.
Yeah, no, I'm really hyped for that. They also, I was reading in that same article that they are pretty much going to show commercials, but I mean, obviously not actual commercials. They're pretty much just going to be like satires of commercials from the 60s, 70s, 80s, pretty much what was shown in between all these shows. But it's supposed to be hints to the multiverse and to Hydra and stuff like that. So,
wow.
Very, very curious to see how Hydra plays a role in this after, not being in the last couple films.
Mm-hmm. Well, they've always been low key, I think with like Hydra's like the overarching, just like the tentacles of Hydra. There's just so many of these different facets and different terrorist groups and everybody. And I just find it super interesting that they are going to tie it all together. I feel like the 10 Rings in Mandarin is going to be a part of that. I feel like what happens in Falcon and the Winter Soldier is going to be a part of that. So WandaVision is super important because it's really going to give us a glimpse. There's going to be so many Easter eggs. It's like the biggest show with like the most Easter eggs for any MCU kind of debut that's going to be coming out, that could tie to all kinds of areas. Like we have no idea where Phase 4 ends, like what they're doing or anything like that. So Disney's really counting on this show to set everything up. Yeah. Who's directing this?
It is Matt Shockman. He did some of Game of Thrones. He did some of Fargo, and he also did one more show that's pretty notable.
I mean, with those shows alone, I have faith.
Oh yeah, for sure. And the last one is Mad Men. So that's, I've always heard good things on that show, but I've never seen it.
Mad Men's.
I never finished it.
Have you ever seen it?
What were you about to say? Have you seen it?
No, yeah, Mad Men's fire. I got into it first couple seasons. John Hamm went off.
I love John
but
Hamm.
Of course, the director plays a huge part of that. So, I'm super excited.
Yeah, no, I haven't really seen any of those shows, but I always hear great things on all three of those. So, very interested to see what he brings.
Wait, you haven't seen Game of Thrones?
No.
Oh man.
Only because I've heard about the ending, and I guess like there's so much. I've heard there's so much more that's better in between, but I hate being left off on stuff like that. I hated Dexter because of that. All 8 seasons for this ending.
That they're gonna add more to Dexter.
Yes, but that's what I like.
Game of Thrones is still worth the watch, even if you don't particularly like where it ends up. Like the first 4 seasons are just incredible. Like it really, really is incredible storytelling and just like how everything's happening. You really can't foresee the ending. So hopefully nobody told you.
No,
because
I just heard
it's definitely still worth the watch. But
we're seeing everybody's reactions.
It was the first global investment show, like where everybody globally was like, all right, we're tuned in. But honestly, what ruined it, and this isn't a Game of Thrones podcast, so I'm gonna get off of this, but what ruined it was really like all of these celebrities that started tweeting about it. Like people were just watching it on the low, and then all of a sudden you have all of these like Chrissy Teigen and like all these people who are influencers who are like, oh yeah, Game of Thrones should do this and should do that. And I can't believe this. And I'm watching it. And then you just got those people that don't care about actual story and like the way that characters are supposed to develop, and I feel like that just started shifting the creators' mentality. So, damn Chrissy Teigen, always ruining things.
D-list celebrity.
Oh man, but you should check it out whenever you have time.
Yeah, I will. I mean, for sure, most likely, if I like what Max Shockman brings to WandaVision, then yeah, I'm excited. Other than where it's set up and like where the show's like kind of taking place, like I still don't really even know the gist of the show. Do you guys have like any theories on what might happen?
Sincere, you got some?
So I watched only a little bit of the trailers. I only watched the first trailer for WandaVision. But I don't know what to think because it goes to so many of those different eras of TV shows for where it kind of like, and then when it turns into Halloween, I kind of get the Halloween vibe. So I'm just, I don't know where it's going to go, and I don't know what the full purpose of it's going to be. So I'm genuinely curious, and I'm really hyped for it just because I know it's going to satisfy like the hunger that I don't know. Like, it's kind of just one of those cravings that like you're hungry, but you don't know what you're hungry for. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah, I feel you. Yeah, it's definitely going to be a surprise. What do you think though, Narik?
I think it's going to take place after Endgame, because Wanda was snapped. So it was a really interesting. It's super interesting to even have a whole show about her because she was snapped at a time where she just suffered the biggest loss to her, in Vision and having to take his life, and then it just get reversed, and she still lost at the end of the day. But then I guess with the snap, it's only supposed to be moments that they come back. So then now all of a sudden she's fighting an entire army with Thanos, and like she just lets out all of her anger and almost defeats him. We saw Endgame.
Just like in the movie,
yeah.
Right.
So then just after that, the sorrow I feel like kind of gets set in, and her powers have never really been explored or tested, even by her, I feel like. So I think that her coping mechanism inadvertently is going to be the whole premise of the show, and like what she kind of wanted out of her life. And because she's so sad, her brother's gone, the android that she loved is gone. She's just really going to create this entire world for her that she probably thinks is only affecting her. But because of how strong her powers actually are, and since they came from the Mind Stone, they're going to be affecting other people. And I think in real life, like, it's not just going to be figments of, like, she's not going to just be creating these people out of thin air. I think that they're going to actually be people that are being controlled by her. So she's going to have a little like villain complex to everybody else who doesn't understand how she's feeling or how she's dealing with what's going on. And since since like Clint, I don't know if he's going to be around, because he was kind of the one that was like helping her kind of like understand things and kind of calm down and saved her originally. It would be cool to see him show up, but it seems like he might have his own thing going on with his show, wherever that takes place. So
interested. Yeah. That's kind of giving me, I don't know, when you were saying all that, it reminds me of Wonder Woman 84.
Yeah.
With Diana wishing what's his name, Trevor, back. Is that his name, Trevor?
Yeah.
And it's like along that same concept, at least. Now, obviously the story might be different, but it might be the same concept where, like everything you want is already in front of you. Whatever you've lost, it's gone. You can't get it back no matter what you do. And if you do, you're going to be sacrificing a lot. So I feel like that might be the whole theme of the show. Obviously there will be different tropes as well, but
honestly, that might be the theme of the entire phase 4, in a more fleshed out way. Because if you think about it, we haven't seen everyone deal with loss besides Spider-Man.
True.
And we haven't seen what Falcon and Bucky how they feel about whatever's happened, and other Avengers who are just kind of around Hawkeye, what he's feel about what has happened. And there's a lot of room in between that 5-year gap of people even coming back that they can do stories of. I don't think that all of the stories are going to take place after Endgame. I think some of them are going to kind of be in the pocket of when the snap happened and everybody died. And which I feel like is going to be super interesting, because it has to be difficult to keep track of everything. And if they can pull that off, that's like masterful.
Yeah, we'll see. I mentioned to you yesterday when we were talking, that this is going to be just so different from any show that we've seen, because it's pretty much bringing the film aspect of the Marvel universe and bringing it to I don't know how many episodes there is, but it's obviously going to be more than one.
It's supposed to be, I believe, 6 40 to 50 minute videos.
Yes.
Awesome.
40 to 50 minute episodes is 6. That and Falcon and Winter Soldier is the same, and I think Loki is the same.
That's pretty much 6 movies.
Yeah, pretty much. Pretty much. So I'm excited for that.
Yeah, no.
We'll see you tomorrow. Huh?
Do you? Well, after what Nurik said, do you think we're gonna get a Quicksilver cameo at all?
Yeah, I think so. He may not be Quicksilver, but we're gonna get her brother, maybe like in a comedy thing. Like, he's there, pulls up.
Which Quicksilver are we getting?
The one from
Who knows?
Age of Ultron. Oh, but also true, because multiverse could tie in.
It can get crazy. I mean, speaking of that, with X-Men characters.
Well, hold on before we move on to X-Men. I was looking at the cast, and Evan Peters is in the cast. When
what?
You look
really?
Up Wandavision, yeah. So
that's wild.
That's why I asked
they're about to
Quicksilver.
They're about to kill this, bro. Oh my
bro!
goodness.
Imagine. She's like, I want my brother, and it's Evan Peters.
Yeah.
He's like, it's me. And she's like, no, you're not my brother. That's wild. That's such a crazy concept, bro.
I mean, it makes sense
at the park, man.
Because what we have next on the dock is Deadpool is getting his movie.
Yeah.
Deadpool 3 is going to be rated R. Don't know who's directing it, but they did mention that it is going to connect with the MCU. So if he can connect with the MCU, then
that means
X-Men can connect to
it. Yes.
Yeah.
So
I like their version of the X-Men, and I'm glad that they didn't show too much within the Deadpool universe, but I feel like that them building out the X-Men gives a lot of room for them to make the team, to make Wolverine, to redo Magneto, to do all that kind of stuff. And I'm like super, super excited about where they're going to take Deadpool, because the writing has to almost be immaculate.
Yeah.
Because of how many things Deadpool would have to cover. Like, did he get snapped? Did he not get snapped? Was he there the whole time? Like, how'd this happen? Like, it's going to be crazy.
Yeah, it'll be hilarious, honestly. I can
picture like the intro of like Deadpool 3 being like Wade after they get snapped, and he's just like, I don't know, like just like I can picture just like a pile of dust just talking to the screen.
It's funny because like even in Deadpool 2, he took shots at Cable for being Thanos, did he not?
Yeah, he's like, zip it, Thanos. Yeah, I remember.
Yeah. So I mean, they're the same actor. I mean, that actor plays Cable and Thanos.
Well, I feel like that Deadpool, he didn't get snapped, but he's gonna know like what happened, because he breaks the fourth wall. So like
he'll act like he got snapped.
He probably couldn't get snapped, like even if he wanted to. Like that's the type of character that it is. Like that's how ridiculous it is. So like he'd be like, man, I'm so mad that everybody's gone. He'll probably be crying over Wolverine because like he got snapped in his mind, and like it'll be crazy.
Yeah, that's gonna be very fun. Seeing a Deadpool 3 movie, especially rated R. It's probably gonna be Disney's first rated R movie.
Under the Disney banner, I think so.
Yeah, no, for sure. That's probably the most interesting part, to see how they approach this, especially after 2 successful movies being rated R as well.
I mean, Kevin Feige looks like that. He said in an interview that if it ain't broke, don't fix it.
Right.
So he's really on board, and even with with the stuff that came out on Netflix with Daredevil and stuff like that. He said if the fans kind of want it, then we can see how it
speak up.
Yeah,
Please,
speak up. Yes.
Up. We need Charlie Cox back.
We need him. We need him, bro. Best Daredevil.
Yeah, and Punisher if possible, but we'll see. We'll see. But
sure.
Other than that, I think we can move on to the movie talk. Do you guys want to touch on anything else before we move on?
Yeah, real quick before we start, what do you guys rate the movie? And are we doing spoilers?
Let's not do spoilers.
Okay, cool.
Yeah,
I
let's not
give
do
it
too much spoilers. You know, we can give a little bit.
As far as rating the movie, when I looked it up online, it was getting really bad ratings.
It's getting really bad ratings. Rotten Tomatoes gave it a 59, I believe.
And I feel like I feel like that it's a little unnecessary.
Yeah.
I don't think it necessarily deserves a 59. Yeah, it's not the greatest movie that you ever seen, but I feel like that they do that whenever an actor is directing because they think that actors don't know how to direct and that should be separate, you know, movie critics and
it's like trying to put them in their place.
I can see why they did it though, because it's this movie has a lot of drama. And it's not just like the regular thriller drama or like, you know, it's action packed with drama. This is like kind of soap opera-y drama in it. Like at some points it feels soap opera-y. Like, why is the drama this? Which
is crazy because there's probably maybe not even 10 cast members in the movie.
Yeah, no, I think there's just 6 total. And the little girl.
Aside from the extras, yeah.
Mm-hmm. So I mean, I can see why people are like, damn, we're gonna George Clooney space movie. Like, this is gonna be super epic. It's gonna be awesome. I mean, I thought, you know, after seeing movies like Ad Astra with Brad Pitt, like George Clooney is in that same realm of Brad Pitt. Right. So that's kind of what I was expecting too. But I also didn't hate what they came up with this movie.
I didn't hate it, man. I didn't hate it. I really enjoyed. I enjoyed the ride. You know, like George Clooney playing an old man, I think is kind of like long overdue since he's always been like that kind of older gentleman, you know, type of situation. So I enjoyed seeing him play this sick doctor, and you know, but he played the type of character that would have that stubbornness. You know, to him to be like, nah, I'm gonna still be here, like regardless of everybody. Woe is me, like I didn't get to fulfill my life, but I'm gonna be here to save humanity type situation. So
I'm gonna finish what I need to finish. You know,
exactly. I'm gonna finish what I started.
And pretty much like his stubbornness dates back all the way to when he was younger, and when he first came up with the idea that we should go to see if we can live on another planet. He's pretty much like Elon Musk in the movie. Right. Super, super invested in his work. Like he is not going to stop for anything. You know, like this is my life's work and I'll live and die doing this. So pretty much the movie takes place in almost post-apocalyptic world in the Arctic Circle and in space. So I didn't know it was going to go to space, like so late in the movie. I thought the whole movie was going to be in space. I thought George Clooney was going to be up there with them. So that was kind of yeah.
I kind of knew that he was going to be somebody that was trying to get them home. But what I didn't expect was how much of space they were actually going to show. Like, I didn't think that they were going to have a whole other movie with the space crew. You know what I mean? It was kind of like
2 movies in one, pretty much.
Yeah, it was pretty much 2 movies in one. Like the space crew could have had their own movie of like things going wrong. And that's honestly what I was like a little, because we've seen that very recently. We've seen so many movies of just space travel going wrong. Interstellar, The Martian, like Ad Astra, like all of these different movies that have kind of come out as of recently. I think Gravity would be another one with George Clooney who's in that. So I thought it was pretty refreshing that it was like two different stories, like people trying to get back, and then the drama of it not being what they wanted and doing it all for, you know, a reason of just like, dang, like, man, this, all that hope, you know, that each of them had, I thought was just really interesting to kind of see on screen. And we saw a few things that I've never seen in a space movie before, which is somebody get hurt in that kind of way in space, but like the way, yes, that part. And
my favorite part, honestly.
Man, the way that unfolded was crazy to me. I was like, wow, I don't think we've ever seen an airlock with that kind of scene like that before, you know? And I just thought that was really, really well done.
Yeah. Go for it, Sincere.
Yeah, no, that was probably my favorite part of the movie because they kind of put some science behind it because she was doing good until the airlock lifted, you know what I mean? And if you guys haven't seen the movie yet, definitely go do that and talk to us about the scene once you finally watch it. So without giving spoilers, but that was probably my favorite part of the movie. The only, like, my only takeaway from the movie that I didn't like enjoy or like I thought was like, okay, it's kind of cheesy was like the CGI. But I mean, I can't do much. You can't really do much about that.
It's still Netflix. It's not like a super big budget film where they can like throw them all in real like
space.
Yeah, well, not real space, but like you know what I mean. Giant green screen, that whole thing.
I was going to like, how do they make space movies? Like, how do they make them float in zero gravity? Like, how do they do that? That's what I want. Like, every space movie I've seen, I always wanted to know that.
They have zero gravity machines, bro. Obviously, it's Hollywood.
I mean, I wouldn't put it past them. But
I wouldn't put it past them, but I think it's just, you know, strings, like the way that they've just mastered how it looks.
So good.
Well, you know, like they study with NASA, you know what I mean? Like they bring NASA on so many movies and it's like, oh, well, what does this look like? Or what does your equipment look like? Or, you know, and they just rebuild replicas and even like, I would love as an actor to be in a space movie because most likely you're going to get some sort of like space training. Mm-hmm. And that's just cool because you don't have to go through all the grueling school and math and all that other stuff. And you just get to get in the suit and float around a little bit.
Yeah.
We all float down here.
Yeah. And I mean, that's probably like why I don't know. I just love space movies. Like whenever I see a movie and they go for a spacewalk, I'm always excited because I'm like, damn, they're going to go out into space. But obviously it's not actually space, but it just always looks so cool. Like hopefully one day I can spacewalk. I doubt it's going to happen. Oh,
I mean, with Elon Musk and what he's doing, regular people are going to be able to spacewalk soon.
Yeah. It seems really scary though. I mean, you're out there and it's a vacuum and you're in a suit.
Yeah.
But
yeah.
Other than the space parts,
how cool was the planet? Sorry.
It was dope. K-23, I think.
Yeah, I thought that the planet looked awesome. I was like, oh, that's just a great great design.
Straight alien planet, but I was like,
it's just untouched nature, bro. Imagine what Earth would look like untouched. You know what I mean?
Yeah, beautiful. It'd be
insane,
absolutely gorgeous.
Yeah, but other than all the space scenes, George Clooney is dealing with his own, pretty much, reality down on Earth. That Earth is no more. Everybody will eventually be gone because of the oxygen pretty much going bad.
Yeah, it's like some radiation thing happened. They really didn't like. They kind of. There was a point where one of the characters was explaining it, but they didn't allow the audience to really hear or understand how it was what happened. Right. So it just seemed like that there was just super high radiation levels, and that radiation just took over the entire planet. You know, yeah. So there's no place to breathe when you have radiation everywhere.
Mm-hmm. So pretty much he's in the Arctic Circle trying to communicate with the spaceship, and he has trouble communicating with him because of all the radiation as well. So he has to travel from one base to another base, which is several miles away in the snow while wearing an oxygen mask in a snowmobile. and at the same time, he has to give himself a blood transfusion almost every night. But the part that kind of, I guess, fooled me was the little girl that was with him. You know, in the beginning of the movie, they mentioned that this little girl was missing.
Are we going spoilers?
No, I just kind of wanted to bring it up a little bit.
I don't think this part's necessarily a spoiler. I think it's okay.
Okay.
So pretty much he's going through this whole journey not only by himself, but he finds this little girl and has to take her with him because she's pretty much gonna die there too. Like, right. You know, if he doesn't take her, she's gonna die. I mean, she's a little kid; she can't take care of herself. So pretty much, he takes her, and everything pretty much goes downhill. And like, it's crazy. There's a point where he has to jump into the water to try to get his blood transfusion machine, and it's just total chaos. Like, you just kind of feel him in the water, like how cold it is and stuff. But I don't even know. I can't even imagine how cold it is up there.
I think in those situations, like, your adrenaline kicks in, so where you could probably bear that water, you know what I mean? But by the time your adrenaline's gone, you're probably just freezing to death.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. It just seemed like most movies, whenever you have to travel from one point to another, it never goes smoothly. No. You know, like, you'll start off with everything, you'll be optimistic, the weather will be nice, and then you just run into a storm, or you run into your gear getting jacked, or you run into somebody else that you didn't want to run into, and then they end up stealing your stuff, or you got to kill them, or you got to do something.
Classic White Castle.
I thought that, I know, right? I thought that that it was so funny. I was watching the movie and I was just like, you know, he hasn't encountered any animals yet. And then what do you see? The animals. And I was like, oh,
it turned into the gray.
For real. I was like, dang, man, it sucks. When I saw that, I was like, okay, he's definitely like in for more than what he bargained for. But
yeah, but overall, pretty decent movie.
Yeah.
Very, like I said, very drama filled. When they're in space, it's mostly like drama. They're living their lives trying to bring back all this information to Earth, so they could be like, all right, now let's go back to K-23 and live our lives. So pretty, fresh film, and it was 2 hours. What really excited me was George Clooney was in it and he directed it. So, then that was my surprise movie of the year too. So.
Nice. Of the year? It's only January.
It came out in 2020.
Yeah, I know. I'm kidding. No, but I give it a 6.5 because I felt like a lot of this stuff you knew was going to happen. Because you kind of just get that sense of like, something's going to go bad here. It's probably going to be this. And sure enough, it's that.
Yeah.
But I mean, either way, it's a good film.
From beginning to end, there was never anything kind of good happening. So you never really got a gist of maybe something good might happen,
Yeah. I mean, I appreciated.
Maybe they can land.
Well, I kind of appreciated that like, at least with the space scene, you always anticipate, okay, if you're in space, something's going to come floating along at 1,000 miles per hour and bust up the space station.
Yep.
But when, like what you have in your background, but when it happened though, it wasn't as bad, and I always felt like, man, why are we even in space if our space equipment can't handle being battered by things?
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, every space movie prior to this, it just made me so mad whenever like an asteroid field would come and just destroy it, and I'm like, why are we even here?
Have we learned nothing?
Exactly. So it was cool that it kind of changed my expectation, where it was like, okay, it weathered what was going on. Like, there was still bad stuff that happened, but at least like it didn't just puncture the whole thing and like it just disintegrate and go into a whole spiral. And so I was thankful for that.
Yeah,
I thought it was dope too that after it got attacked, they could see exactly what they needed to fix, and their computers actually told them.
It was this movie, I don't even know what year it was set in, but it was supposed to be futuristic in like 2020 type
I wanted to talk to you guys about that, and how do you guys feel about the memory machine that they have? Where, like, how do you think that works? Were they able to just like upload video clips of their house? Was their house like all bugged?
I think it was actually neural.
Okay, so you think it was a neural thing?
So, okay, this is where my nerd comes out. So in Fallout 4, the kind of same thing happens where you have to find out where like a certain objective is, like where one thing's at. So you kill this guy, you kind of take this little cerebral thing from his brain and you take it to this place called the memory den. What the memory den does is it replicates memories for you. So you're taking this person's cerebral and you're putting in your own as if you're in those memories yourself, and you're like reenacting those memories. So my assumption is it's kind of the same technology where you're going to take the cerebral and then whatever computer, it kind of makes it where it's 3D, or kind of like the way Tony Stark did it too in forget which Avengers it was.
Barf.
Yeah, the barf, exactly. Where he kind of just creates his own setup. So that's what I'm assuming it was like. It's all cerebral, and then you're able to kind of be in that memory as if you're there.
I'm curious as to how far away we are from that, because you have Elon Musk that's talking about this Neuralink, and it's like, okay, how far are we from uploading our memories, and how accurate are our memories going to be? Because even now, when you try and think of something in the way that it happened, it could be distorted from depth, from where things were, what color stuff was. And so it's like, is your brain going to know the exact thing, or is it going to be what you think that it is? And, is that going to be displayed?
I don't know. I think for not every memory it'll be vivid, but some people, like, I guess probably will have more vivid memories than others. And there's also like your whole subconscious, where you don't think you're going to remember that. But when you're dreaming, like when you pass somebody by on the street, you never see their face. You probably took a glimpse. You'll never remember that face. But when you dream, usually those faces are the people you pass by, because your subconscious can remember that. But you personally can't. So... it like you said, it probably won't be to the T. Their face will probably be a little different. I don't know. Clothes different. Probably not wearing Prada. They're wearing Gucci. I don't know. Something like that.
I feel it.
Boys, we need to get in the business of selling memories. Meaning, once like we've had a pretty extraordinary life.
I can see people doing that.
Where people are like, I've never been to the common
Clubhouse invites to selling memories.
First off, I'm gonna need you to not put me on blast for my side hustle.
Isn't that what they do in Inception? Kind of. They implant a memory or something, an idea. It's pretty much like a memory, but yeah.
Kind of.
Other than all that, all the cool technology in the movie, I give it an 8. Probably just because I love space movies. Only thing I didn't like about it is some of the cheesy drama, but I got past it. I wasn't.
Skywalker doesn't have a heart. No. I know Mike loves.
I wanted more people
space
to die.
Movies because his name is Skywalker.
Yeah, there it is. It's on brand. It's on brand for Skywalker.
Literally on brand for you.
I give it a 7. As far as Netflix movies go, I'll rate it higher out of like the other Netflix movies that have come out, because it seemed like, it had like a really, really nice budget and everything looked great. Like I would have loved to see it in theaters. But yeah, I give it a 7. But real quick, last tidbit before we get out of here. How'd you guys like the song selection of the movies? Like,
honestly,
what was the song?
Tennessee Whiskey.
They had the Tennessee Whiskey song with Chris Stapleton, who's awesome. And then they had Sweet Caroline.
Oh, Sweet Caroline. Mm-hmm. Yeah, when he was like, I guess this is kind of a little spoiler, but one of the astronauts is pregnant and she's about to have her kid, and they're all trying to figure out names. And one of them was like, "What about Caroline?" And then a few scenes later, they start singing Sweet Caroline.
Yeah, but also she's like, "Nope, don't know the song."
Yeah,
because it's an American song, and not all the
freaking Americans.
So I mean, they were playing that Tennessee. What was it? Tennessee Whiskey.
Tennessee Whiskey. I thought that was I thought it was a really, really good song. I mean, Chris Stapleton is a crazy writer, like really, really good. So I thought, as far as country music is concerned, like that was a great song, and I thought it really set the tone for the type of man that we get introduced to in George Clooney's character at the very beginning of the film.
A very burly man, but also that transparency is pretty there. It's pretty dope. I like that.
Drinking whiskey while dying.
But to move on,
while getting a blood transfusion, getting that good alcohol blood,
bro. Have you guys ever given blood? You guys have given blood, I'm assuming. Bro, you get so high from giving blood. Whenever we in high school, whenever we had like donation days, I would give blood and plasma because it would get me out of class for a long time. But also, I felt so good, and they would feed me peanut butter and jellies after, bro. I was good.
Sincere figured it out. He said, "I'm about to get
peanut butter and jelly." Damn, my school would give us In-N-Out vouchers to give blood.
Oh, damn, man! I would have gave blood every single time for In-N-Out voucher.
And you could bring your family, and they'll each give you a voucher.
What? Oh man, that's clutch.
I don't think
I think I went to the actual clinic once, and they gave me movie tickets.
Oh, that's cool too.
Hey, they know how to get people.
Yeah, incentives. I mean,
you want some free movies?
Blood.
Give me your blood.
You don't need your blood.
They ain't doing that no more, though.
No, not no more.
Like, you want blood? Give me your blood. Yeah.
Let's move into one of our last topics, and it's a trailer. We're gonna do a little quick trailer analysis of a movie coming out that we talked about months ago, being one of the first COVID productions during COVID. And it's a Malcolm and Marie with John David Washington. And
so sad. So sad. My wife, she's cheating on me.
You were a good film,
bro. So I don't think you had a chance. I'm sorry.
Sorry, I just saw like an article. I don't know what it said, but it says Zendaya owns Hollywood. I was like, why would they say that? But I mean, she's everywhere right now, so it kind of makes sense.
Well, she's just one of those like budding actresses that like does like the actress thing. She's a very good actress, but then she also does the fashion thing, where it's like all over the magazines, fashion icon, and that's all of Hollywood. You know, if you can be one of those actresses or actors where not only do you kill it on set, but you also kill it in whatever they dress you in.
Yeah. She was a Disney star, right?
Yeah.
She started off on Disney. I believe the show was
Shake It Up.
Shake It Up.
Dancing?
Shake It Up. Yeah, it was her and Bella Thorne.
That's. I mean,
don't do that sound for Bella Thorne.
I know. I'm saying like what I'm saying is one of them is a lot more skilled than the other.
I think Zendaya just plays everything right. Like she gets her cards, and she's like, "All right, this is the hand, this is the move." So shout out to her because she has been killing it, and she's won a Grammy, right?
Well, I'm not too sure about the Grammy, but whenever you decide that, I'm gonna just have one name in Hollywood.
I was gonna ask, what's your last name?
you're already set up for success. Like if it's just Zendaya, like you don't need to know anything else. It might not even be her real name. Who knows? Like, but when you set yourself up like that, it just seems like that she has all of Hollywood's favor. So, you become the it girl.
Yeah. Oh yeah. So let's dive into this trailer. Pretty much, I don't know if the movie. I don't know what to think. I almost felt like the whole movie was in the trailer, but hopefully they want us to think that. So we don't go in expecting like too much. There might be some twists. I'm not too sure.
That's kind of what I was thinking too. I was thinking that it's they're setting it up to make it seem like that it's just gonna be, just this movie, this kind of, this romance kind of thing that's going on between them two. We're gonna, that drama filled. But I have a feeling that it's gonna get crazy really, really fast, and it's gonna kind of come out of nowhere. Hopefully, I would like to see that. And the film was shot in 12 days.
Yeah.
Yes, I think we covered this maybe like 10 or so episodes ago, kind of talking about what they went about, exactly where they shot and how the precautions were taken. So it was only shot within like a 2-week span.
I'm very curious to see how they used all the land in the house in the film, if it's just all in the house or if they'll use the surroundings around. Interested in that. Also interested if it's if the trailer was just in black and white, or if the movie is going to be in black and white.
Mm-hmm.
It'll add a different.
I think the movie, because isn't the poster in
too.
black and white too?
Yeah, I believe so.
I think so. Yeah, it'd be interesting if it's a full black and white movie. We haven't had that since The Artist, and The Artist won an Academy Award when it came out for being black. Well, not for being in black and white, but it just had that classic look.
Yeah. Does black and white do anything like does it make you feel a different way when you watch a black and white movie?
I think so. Like, oh, you just asking it like how personally?
Yeah, personally, like what do you guys feel about black and white movies? Do you love them? Does it give it that extra oomph, I guess?
To me, it's kind of like listening to a song on vinyl. It just there's elements that you just kind of like pick up. Like there's like I don't want to say a grittiness, but like a gradient type of like feel to it. And I think it also inspires your imagination a little bit more because you have to picture the color, and it's like everybody's, whatever they're picturing the color will be, is different. And color is so important when it comes to movies, like coloring the movie in the right way will change how we feel about what's going on in the movie. So to have it black and white, at a time when it could be colored, it's pretty interesting.
Yeah, I definitely feel like black and white adds more of a, don't pay attention to anything else. Just the act, the dialogue, and these characters is what's the real focus. Everything else is just a background. So that's how I usually view black and white films. One movie that kind of does black and white and color that I can remember that did it well was Kill Bill.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Kill Bill is a classic.
So, and that was more like you focus more on what's actually happening rather what setting they're in. Obviously the setting adds to it too, but
yeah, for sure.
Yeah, I don't think black and white really does much for me, honestly. I'm not a fan, but there are some. I think for it being a full film, it doesn't really like do much for me. But if it's like a scene kind of like in Kill Bill, or you kind of, whether it's like a flashback or something like that, then I can understand like that appeal. But I don't know. Either way, I'm curious, and I'm for sure gonna check out the film, whether it's black and white and color or anything like that.
Yeah.
Did they give a release date?
Yes, they did. I should have had that written down. I think it goes out this month.
I'll peep it. Go right ahead. Go ahead.
You know what? I'm wrong. Actually, it's in February.
I wouldn't doubt if it drops on Valentine's.
February 5th, 2021.
Okay,
February 5th. Yeah.
Nice.
So on Netflix, I believe.
Sweet. Well, we'll be covering that when it comes out. Excited. If you guys haven't seen the Malcolm and Marie trailer, it is available on the internets via YouTube. You can catch it on Twitter as well. So definitely go and check that out.
I'm definitely gonna be crying, Zendaya. If you're listening to this, I love you.
Shoot your shot, man. Shoot your shot.
Closed mouths don't get fed. Damn it.
I feel
I'm here for the win.
Speaking of getting fed, you want to talk about your referral, your show referral?
Let's end it off with some suggestions.
I like that segue.
That ended off spicy.
All right, y'all. So actually, I didn't add the second one in here, but first, Hot Ones season 13. Hot Ones, of course, everybody knows what Hot Ones is. Shout out to Sean Evans. Dude is probably one of my favorite interviewers. Like he's probably up there right next to Nardwuar, in my opinion. Yeah, but I would say their season finale for episode 13 was The Undertaker, and it was super dope seeing him out of like character, but also he doesn't do many interviews and he talks about that, and that's why he was like stoked to do that interview, because Sean Evans asked those questions that nobody else is gonna ask. So I was really excited about that. But also it had probably one of my favorite episodes this season, and that was with Thundercat. So yeah, definitely go peep that. But also I rewatched Ready Player One and I fell in love with it all over again.
It's funny. Yeah. So many people have been watching that lately. What's up with that? Is there like a
resurgence? It's on HBO Max.
I know that, but so random.
But no, I think because everybody I think HBO knows a lot of people haven't seen that movie or they know it's a good film. So it's on the main screen, or even like on the new smart TV we got, it pops up like on the main menu. So it's definitely something people are going to want to be like, I need to watch.
It's
also
one of those films that you just like appreciate when it comes on. It's like, oh, okay, cool, I'm gonna watch this.
Well, to throw it out there, Ready Player 2 just dropped. The book came out a couple months ago, and the sequel is already in development. So that's definitely, I'm sure that has to do a lot. Like, it has a lot to do with it.
Nice.
Most likely, that makes sense. Okay, yeah, that's cool. So my my suggestion, my streaming suggestion, is for a movie. It's been out for some time. There's been different variations of it that are trash. But it's The Girl with the Dragon Tattoo. For a while, I remember when I first got Netflix, it was on there. And then, I don't know, probably a few years later, I wanted to watch it again. And I searched up The Girl with the Dragon Tattoo. I clicked the movie and I pressed play, and it's not the movie. I don't know what it was. I was like, oh, this is not the movie I want to watch. So I took it off. But they finally put it back on. Really good watch. I caught something this time around that I really thought was interesting, but Daniel Craig and I forget the old man's name, but the guy Michael Caine, he hires Daniel Craig in the Girl with the Dragon Tattoo, and he helps him investigate his family, trying to figure something out. But it's pretty much the same plot of those two characters in Knives Out. Daniel Craig is a detective, and somebody hires him to investigate his family and figure out who killed Michael Caine in Knives Out. So I wonder if Rian Johnson thought, oh, they're a good duo, I'm going to have them play the same characters in a different setting, like Clue, you know? So I don't know, I thought that was a really cool thing that I noticed, especially because the movies are so many years apart.
Yeah.
But The Girl with the Dragon Tattoo is a really good watch if you guys haven't seen it. It kind of has that 007 vibe without all the action. It's very mysterious, too. I love it.
Cool.
Yeah.
Cool. All right, guys. Well, that is our recommendation for all of you sound flickers out there that are listening. I think it's a wrap for this episode. We are gonna get to bed early so we can get ready to watch WandaVision tomorrow.
Oh yes.
Can't wait.
Super excited for that.
I'm gonna watch it right now.
That's right.
If I hope it comes out at midnight.
I'm setting my smart TV
To be honest,
to China time, so that way I can start watching it now.
Oh, smart man. You might not be able to read everything, but you know,
it's gonna be Chinese. It's gonna be a Mandarin.
You put it in English ad libs. Ad libs.
I see what you're doing. I see what you're doing there. No, just want to let everybody know that this podcast is powered by Productive Culture. If you are trying to start your own podcast or put up, just let us know. Like let them know, and then tell us, because we were the one that told you to do it anyway.
Yeah, and we want to hear the podcast after it's out.
Of course. But yeah, you can just go to productiveculture.com/podcast. You can see it right down below. And make sure to follow us on Instagram at SoundflickPod. And follow us on Twitter at SoundflickPod. We're getting a lot more active on there. Yeah. So you can come and chat with us and tell us what movie you just watched, and we can get into a conversation. If there's anything you want us to cover when it comes to movies, let us know. And this has been episode 39.
39 episodes, boys.
Podcast.
We're almost at episode 40. I'm hyped.
Almost. We're getting there. Happy New Year to everybody who's listening. We're going to have this Soundflick episode out for you soon. And yeah, we'll see you next time.
Peace.
Bye.